Wait. Stop. The voice cut through the sterile silence of the briefing room. The young soldier froze, the tray of steaming coffee cups trembling slightly in her hands. Every eye around the oak table turned toward the pilot who had spoken, the battle-hardened general with silver hair and a chest full of medals. His gaze was locked not on the tray, but on her arm. Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. Let's dive in. The girl swallowed hard, shifting nervously under the weight of so many powerful stares. She was supposed to be invisible here, just an aide assigned to fetch coffee and shuffle papers for men who commanded fleets and squadrons. But now the room had gone still, as if every breath waited for the general's next words. Slowly he pointed to the patch stitched on her sleeve, a black star encircled in crimson. His voice dropped to a whisper. "Where did you get that?" Confused murmurs rippled among the officers. One colonel leaned closer to another, whispering, "That's the ace's mark. Nobody wears it unless they've flown over 100 confirmed missions." The young soldier flushed, her throat tightening. She hadn't meant for anyone to notice. For weeks she had served quietly, carrying trays, cleaning up, listening to the chatter of men who assumed she was nothing more than a low-ranking recruit. But that patch, she had sewn it herself onto her uniform sleeve, not as a boast, but as a reminder of the skies she'd once conquered. The general's eyes softened with recognition. "I know that insignia. Only the best pilots earn it. And I haven't seen one since." He trailed off, his jaw tightening as a memory flashed in his mind. A dogfight above a desert battlefield. An outnumbered squadron saved at the last second by a mysterious pilot who had cut through the sky like lightning. His hand clenched into a fist. "It was you." Gasps spread around the table. The officers straightened, disbelief etched across their faces. "Sir, that's impossible. She's just an aide. Barely enlisted." But the general shook his head. His voice was sharp now, carrying authority. "She's no aide. She's the Raven." The room erupted. The name itself was legend. The Raven, an ace pilot whispered about in mess halls and barracks across the world. A ghost in the sky who never lost a fight, who had saved hundreds of soldiers from certain death, yet vanished after every mission, leaving only rumors in her wake. No one had ever confirmed who she was. The girl's grip on the tray tightened until her knuckles turned white. She had worked so hard to disappear, to bury her past. But the truth could not stay buried forever. She set the tray down with trembling hands, straightened her shoulders, and finally met the general's eyes. "I didn't want to be seen," she said softly. "After my last mission, I walked away. Too many friends lost. Too many times I came back alone. I thought maybe, if I just fetched coffee, filed reports, I could disappear." The general leaned forward, his voice gentler now. "You disappeared into the shadows, but your mark didn't. Heroes don't get to hide forever." One of the younger officers spoke up, incredulous. "You mean to tell us the greatest pilot alive has been serving coffee at our meetings?" The general didn't answer. He just nodded toward her arm. "She saved more lives in the air than all of us in this room combined." The young soldier's eyes burned with tears she tried to hold back. She hadn't wanted recognition. She hadn't wanted applause. But as she stood in that room, surrounded by men who had once dismissed her as invisible, she realized something. The patch wasn't just a reminder of her pain, it was a reminder of her duty. The general stood, walked around the table, and saluted her. "Major Raven," he said firmly, his voice echoing with respect. "Welcome back." The room fell silent again, but this time it wasn't disbelief. It was reverence. One by one, the other officers rose, saluting her. No one questioned her now. No one saw her as just the aide with the coffee. They saw her for what she truly was. A legend, a protector, a hero who had carried them through battles they barely survived. Her lips trembled as she whispered, "I never wanted glory. I just wanted to keep them safe." The general's voice softened. "And you did. That's why you wear that patch. That's why we'll never let you be forgotten." As the salutes held and the silence deepened, the young woman finally allowed herself to stand tall. She was no longer hiding. She was no longer invisible. She was the Raven, and the world finally knew her name. And the moral was clear. True greatness doesn't need recognition. But when it is revealed, it reminds us all that legends can walk quietly among us, even when we think they're just serving coffee. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.